Good evening.
Good
Hello,
evening,
good
sir.
evening to you. Can you witness my slides?
Yes, sir.
No.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yesterday we discussed 3 curriculum model. Today we can seek 1 or 2 more. We have only 12 slides here. 11, actually 11 slides. After that we can go to new topic, that is types of curriculum. This this model is a framework for curriculum design proposed by John Kerr that identifies 4 interrelated components. That is actually not a new thing. The objective knowledge, different names they use. Some people they use content, subject content, experience. Some people they use knowledge. School learning, new term. School learning experience. One term, new term, Kirk has added, that is school learning experience and evaluation. That is the, even though they have used some different names, but it gives same meaning. Unlike linear model, curse is interactive. uh, the model something, some new things he has introduced. We'll see the linear model and cycle model. This is something different from other people. They had developed in their models with component influencing one another. That is already we studied. We also realized those components of a curriculum interrelated. Objectives are categorized as affective, that is a new thing, cognitive and psychomotor. Here we can see Kerr has used psychological theory to develop his model. Affective, cognitive, and psychomotor, those are new things. While knowledge must be organized, integrated, sequenced, and reinforced. Some important message he has added. That is a good development, even though the basic idea, objective, knowledge, learning experience, evaluation of the learning experience, he has added one term, school learning experience. Another thing, He has categorized the objectives as effective cognitive psychomotor. That is a development. While knowledge must be organized, he says, integrated, sequenced, and reinforced. That is one very important uh, development that we can get from curriculum model. Core components of the curriculum model the same, but the first one same objectives. Others two they started with objectives. Also started with objective. These are the intended outcomes. The new terms now we use learning outcome in the current education system. Now we have started to use learning outcome, intended learning outcome, ILO. In short we say ILO, learn intended learning outcomes. Now in the curriculum it is the popular term we use in the modern curriculum design. Uh, Therefore, we have to thanks to Kerr for introducing that of the curriculum and are divided into three categories. Even now, we are busy with uh, we are very busy with developing curriculum. In the we also use this curve model when we uh, develop curriculum to do different courses. Objective related to effective emotional development and attitudes. We in our curriculum development even in Sri Lanka we use KASP. KASP, knowledge, attitude, skills, and practice. Some people they wanted to put um, skills first, therefore, they used skill first and they made knowledge second. And attitude third, practice fourth, escape model. Now very recently now they have put the attitude first. We can see when we learn the modern the curriculum introduced in Sri Lanka. Cognitive, here according to this curve model, cognitive uh, knowledge, he uses different cognitive development, objective focused on intellectual development and thinking skills. Here, one development improvement we can see a cognitive development, not memorizing the fact, not acquiring knowledge, but intellectual development and thinking skill. Then we can see the development in curriculum from psychomotor objectives. Third, objectives related to physical skills and coordination. In another word, we can say behavior, behavioral change. After learning a subject or attending a class or the students demonstrate some physical skills and coordination. They will be able to do that. They will be able to demonstrate physical skills and coordination that they had no before the lesson. Okay, these area very important when we study Kerr model. Learning, knowledge, cognitive development. Knowledge is used for for the cognitive development. Knowledge is used the content of the curriculum. This is the term earlier they used which should be organized. That is very important. Simply, we can't teach whatever we like, but the subject should be organized. Even it is very important to the people, teachers, or the textbook prepare, those who involve in textbook preparation. Very important message to our educational publication department officers. Course model is very, very useful to them. What should be the first subject? What should be the second subject? Sorry, first chapter in a textbook. What should be first chapter? What is second chapter? What should be third chapter? There should be rationale. Simply and using ad hoc method, we can't put the chapters in a textbook. The textbook designer should use curse model, his advice, to organize the subject in a textbook. Integrated, sequenced, and reinforced. That is integrated. Later we can study integrated curriculum, because some of the thing that we should include in the content knowledge part, we have to show the children the relationship between one area to another area. For an example, one example I can give, paddy cultivation. Paddy cultivation, we can connect that theme in a book. We can write a subject, a chapter on paddy cultivation. Paddy cultivation, it is not isolated theme. Actually, it is related to geography, climate, um, and science. Paddy cultivation, because we use fertilizers, therefore it is related to science. The paddy cultivation, we produce rice, it is related to home economic. Paddy cultivation is related to economic. Therefore we can't isolate, we can't neglect the connection or link with other subject. Therefore, even we can say history, we can connect that paddy cultivation to the history, because we have for a long time, we have been, our major food is rice. Therefore, our forefathers, what are the techniques that our forefather used to uh, cultivate paddy in this country? Therefore, that is one example I mentioned here. This whenever we teach a subject under one theme, we can try to uh, integrate with other subject. It is even in Sri Lanka we can in 1975 we started to integrate some subject. Later the curriculum developer, they again separated that, they took decision against the process of integrated. There can be various reason for that. Now we are going to discuss that, but um, Kerr gave idea subject could be integrated. Subject should be organized. There should be sequence. Some area should be reinforced. Number two, school learning experience, the actual teaching and learning that occurs influenced by social needs, relationship, and method. Therefore, according to Kerr, he suggests the teacher whenever that we teach, whenever we decide a teaching method, whenever we try to give some skills to the children through teaching learning process, it should uh, fulfill the social needs, because we can't prepare the students only for the exam. We have to prepare the children to live in a society, to contribute for the social development where they live. The interpersonal relationship, human relationship, those are not only giving knowledge. Through knowledge, some development, some skills, attitude change should be take place in the classroom. Then only we can prepare the children to live in a society with other members. Then number three, evaluation, the process of collecting information through method like test and interviews to assess the curriculum effectiveness. He gives various techniques. Other uh, curriculum model designer that we studied at AFIFO study, they did not explain the evaluation method much as he did. We can have written test, we can have other techniques, alternative techniques to assess the curriculum effectiveness and inform. Another thing I want to tell here, we can, after the completion of a curriculum or a subject or an academic year, the program in an academic year, we can check the students individual performance. That is not only, that is not sufficient. There are so many curriculum evaluation models, goal free model, uh, there are so many models. One example I can say, input process, output model is there. There are so many models. If time permits, we can see couple of the models, how failure and success of a curriculum can be assessed using those model. But this is the person, uh, Kerr is the person, he said the curriculum, effectiveness of the curriculum also should be tested and assessed. Here you can see the interrelationship here. It is not actually linear model or cycle model. You can see the key variables, key components of a curriculum: objective, knowledge, learning experience. So he says school learning environment and evaluation. But he says all these four component or variables interrelated. Whenever we do evaluation, we may check their knowledge, student knowledge. We can test their knowledge. He says whenever we give knowledge to the children, we should consider objective as well as it is connected to evaluation. Knowledge is connected to the school learning environment. Therefore, these four variables actually, according to curves, it is not linear model or cycle model. We can see some development or new ideas given by curve. Key phase of curves model, interactive relationship. The model emphasizes that four components are not sequential but are interrelated, with each component influencing the other. I explained, not much difficult to understand that. Then flexible start point. Although objective are often seen as the starting point, others, other uh, model designers, they started the objectives are the starting point, but Kerr noted that the cycle is interactive and one could begin process at any point. That is interesting one. According to him, we start with checking student pre-knowledge. We take some students and give them pre-test paper. We can start according to Kerr. We can start with the last point, evaluation. Then based on their every students, they have knowledge. They come to school with knowledge. All the children, they come to grade 1 in our schools. They come with knowledge. They come with some sort of skills. That the children's knowledge skills can differ from area to area because of their different family environment. Okay, we can see comprehensive evaluation. Evaluation is not limited to the end of the process. It is a continuous process. Yeah, we can as I said, we can start with evaluation. Otherwise, we can parallelly start with uh, teaching learning process as well as assessment process. We call continuous process, continuous activity of gathering information for decision making. Earlier, according to the earlier model, uh, we the teachers taught the children to test, but her model says we can test the children to teach. Testing for teaching. The earlier method, teaching for testing. First we teach the children, then we test. But here we first test and see their standard, student standards, and according to the student standard, we decide what is the content that we should give them. What is the area no need to give them because they know that. What is the best method them to teach? that decision can be taken if we start with evaluation, student assessment. That is innovative ideas from Kerr. Because of Kerr, we started to do this continuous assessment, formative assessment, ongoing assessment. Even it is implemented in Sri Lanka, this continuous assessment we call school-based assessment, SBA, or class-based assessment. Once they used CPA, I think this new education reforms, they emphasize CPA, class-based assessment. Broad influences, the model considers the influence of social conditions, student interest, and the maturity of learners on the curriculum. This is also new ideas from Kerr. Whenever we decide our curriculum, our subjects, subject content, we should study social condition. What a society expects from the society, education. What the society need for its development through education. Because for the social development, their economic development, their behavior development, their skills development, moral development, cultural development, they need education. Therefore, whenever we form curriculum, the education should serve the community for its development. The same time, whenever changes take place, some changes we get from other countries because of the globalization, the development in the information technology. One example, then we should include those area in our curriculum. That idea that we get from Kerr's model, that is also one of the contribution of Kerr. Interest, student interest. Next, students involvement, student participation, very important according to the current educationist idea. They emphasize student centered education, activity based education, the classroom led by students. Those are new concept. We can't force according to the new ideas in education sector. We can't neglect their interest. We should consider their interest in the maturity of learners on the curriculum. Therefore, Kerr has served much in the field of curriculum development. Right. One of the major criticism, now we can see what are the pros and cons, merits and demerits. One of the major criticism against Taylor's model of the curriculum is that evaluation of co-curricular activities is performed only at end of the program. That is, we are comparing in Kerr's 1972 model. However, evaluation appears to be the second activity to be formed after objectives. First, we uh, formulate objectives, then we check the student's level, student prior knowledge, and decide what the children should be taught with what subject, what area, whether they should start from the basic or can give up some areas based on the students' knowledge, prior knowledge. According to Kerr, since without evaluation, we could not be sure that proposed objectives are attainable. Yeah. According to his proposal, uh, neglecting or avoiding student interest, student level, if we decide without any assessment, objective sometimes we could not attain. The evaluation component of the curriculum is the evaluation component of the curriculum is inseparable from the objective components. Here, we are not only testing, assessing the learner, student, but also the entire curriculum also should be assessed. Whether it is possible, that is another question. How long we should take to assess a curriculum? There are so many issues and question. He goes on to refer to learning experience as the last major curriculum component. Yeah. Some people they criticize that we do not do that. Usually, we still follow the traditional method. We have the evaluation or assessment at the end of the process. Yeah, give me a few minutes. I need to go little out to drink a glass of water, take water. Please give me 5 minutes. Huh? Again, I'll join. Yeah. Uh, there is some criticism. What is not clear? The people they criticize is what is not clear from Kerr's description of his model is whether the objectives are the only major curriculum component that should be evaluated. Yeah. Later, I have not mentioned that model curriculum evaluation model. We call that as a goal-free evaluation model. This goal-free evaluation model, whenever we teach the children, uh, they develop. Students, they can develop. Uh, they can gain. They can achieve some objective that is not expected by the curriculum designer or teachers. Unexpected development objectives could be achieved through the activities that take place in the schools. Inside the school, as school is a social organization, we can develop, we can do a lot of events, lot of programs, the school culture. Therefore, uh, the people those criticize Kerr model says the curriculum cannot be confined, limited only to the objectives it is written in the curriculum. He Kerr focuses more than other components on curriculum objectives. They say Kerr failed to give more attention on the other component of the curriculum. That is their criticism. If Kerr's description of his model is to be taken at face value, then it appears that to him the evaluation of the objective takes precedence over the evaluation of the other components. The according to the people, those who criticize Kerr's model, there is no clear evidence from Kerr's argument or to justify why the objective should be evaluated first. Yes, simply mentioned that, but not much valid reasons given by him. That is their criticism. Yeah. If that is the case, then some of the interactive errors in the model need to be removed or redirected. Yeah, that is another criticism that some of the arrows should be removed. Yeah. It appears that Kerr's description of his model is at variation with the idea conveyed by the diagrammatic representation of it. Uh, uh, the criticizer, They say that for simple reasons, he has connected the different component. They say that is not necessary, that is not important. This apparent mismatch may have resulted from Kerr's attempt to develop his model in his specific operational terms rather than in conceptual terms. Yeah, another criticism, he has given more operational, specific operational side, not conceptual terms. That is also one criticism. Yeah. On other possible cause of the mismatch is Kerr's own admission that the infinitely complex nature of the curriculum. Yeah, that is, if I say in my word, there is no end. We can't get end for a curriculum process because of this interactive. It may go from here, from there. Where is the starting point for certain extent clear, but ending point is not clear. That is the other criticism. In Kerr's model, ending point is not clear. It impossible to produce anything but a fluid image of the reality to be presented. We can't check. Because of that reason, we can't evaluate outcome of a curriculum results, right? Thank you. Today we studied only Kerr's model. At the beginning, we identified some of the good things. He has helped to introduce new ideas to the education system, curriculum implementation, continuous assessment, learning outcome, uh, student-centered learning. He has contributed for the development of those concepts. But the problem is interactive model. Unnecessary arrows are given. Sometimes very difficult to understand. Clearly, we can't understand how that. But this, I gave you some example, but it is not the theoretical based one. That is simply points out some operational work in the curriculum process. Okay, these are the criticism. Thank you. Now, model area over. We have to do these classes quickly because only 20 hours, 10 classes, 2 hours classes. This morning, I was thinking about the next lecture will be the difference between curriculum and syllabus and some curriculum materials we have to study. Further, the 21st century curriculum we have to study. Couple of, we need at least 3 lecture to cover education reforms in Sri Lanka. In the past, we have to select at least 2 or 3 education reforms introduced in Sri Lanka and the new education reforms that they are going to implement from 2026 January, grade 1 and grade 6. Therefore, we have to cover the basic areas in the curriculum theory and management. Okay. Now give me few minutes to get that next PowerPoint presentation. That is types of curriculum. Can you see the slides, new slides? Types of curriculum?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Again, because we have to start always what is curriculum, what is curriculum. Even though we went through many definition, uh, whenever we start a topic, we should start with what is curriculum. Otherwise, it has no introduction or the first part. Uh, Anyhow, I can avoid, but whenever I prepare a document, I should include. Uh, Otherwise, the document will not be a complete one. But the answer to the question, what is curriculum in education, we may get different answer. Basically, the curriculum referred as a structure set of learning experience or activities that guides the education process in an academic year. That is different. Even though we studied many definition on curriculum in education, but this is different. As we have in Sri Lanka, the government school concern, we have centralized curriculum developing mechanism. I can remember day before yesterday also I mentioned that big countries like India, they have states, Tamil Nadu states, in Kerala, so many states. They may have separate curriculum for their reason. They are in America, they have 50 states. But Sri Lanka, small country, we have no regionalized curriculum, we have centralized. But in other countries, especially higher education, they provide higher education, they have their own curriculum. Private schools, they can have their own curriculum, but it should be approved by a central body because now in the democratic society, current society, the country, government, every government has a major role to regulate the education given to the children, citizen, they are citizen, future citizen. It should be they are approved by the government or supervised by the government, but they are free. Some countries they are given freedom, schools are given freedom to have their own curriculum. That message I should say. By Sri Lankan context, we have different ideas about curriculum, particularly the government sector. This curriculum has everything from lesson plan to instruction. Here I am discussing school-based curriculum, reading materials to assessment strategies and even the learning outcomes. Here the higher education, now I am working in a private university. The private university, last couple of months we spent to develop a curriculum for on Bachelor of Education early childhood. So many discussion went on. We organized subject content. We developed intended learning outcomes ILO, and in the paper we had to include the teaching methods, the sources, reference books, other teaching resources can be used in the classroom, and teaching methods, evaluation approaches, assessment and evaluation, the marks for the final exam, written exam. Earlier, than 20, 30 years back, 100 marks for the final exam. But later, now there is a trend to reduce that. In the past, we gave 70 marks for final, continuous assessment 30 marks. But from next time, again, we have increased the marks for the continuous assessment, assignments 40, final exam 60. That decisions are taken when we prepare the curriculum. Yes. That's why you can think about national level curriculum. You can think about schools level curriculum. But in the previous curriculum designer, couple of years ago, by 2020s, a team they involved in curriculum development, they proposed, not only proposal level, it was, then he started to do work, regionalized subject. Some subject only for the student living in that area. What examples I can give? Gem industry only for the children who are living in Sabragamuva. There is no public exam paper for that subject. Tea cultivation, vegetable cultivation, only for the children, those who are living in Nuwara district. Paddy cultivation, Ambara Bolanaruwa district children. Three examples I gave, but now in the new reform, I don't see that. Regionalized curriculum. National level curriculum, regional level curriculum, school level curriculum, institutional level curriculum, we prepare. Most of the private universities, higher education institution, they prepare their own curriculum. Even the universities, government universities, they have their own curriculum. Okay, here this definition focuses on school level curriculum. Yes, further, curriculum is not just about academic subject, but rather it also takes in concern that extracurricular. Yes, I purposely I added this area because when we study type of culture, type of curriculum, we may study co-curricular activities, formal curriculum, informal curriculum, non-formal curriculum, that types of curriculum that we are going to study today. Skill-based learning, lifelong learning, reading habits and other development programs are now available because the present society is identified as knowledge-based society. That is different concept. We can, if time permits, we can include that concept also in our lecture. Right. Now we are going to the main part of this second lecture today. Second lecture, types of curriculum include formal, informal, and non-formal. There is another way to categorize Later we can see that. Is my voice clear? There is a problem with the due to this bad weather condition. We have signal problem. Hello,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we can.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Okay, right. Types of curriculum include formal, informal, and non-formal based on their structure, as well as subject-centered, learner-centered, integrated, and activity-centered. Some types also we have. In our types of curriculum, one, two, another PowerPoint presentation I have prepared to learn that area. By we can cover, I hope. Other types include the co-curricular, essential subject. Yeah. Co-subject. The hidden curriculum, unintended. Yeah, that is one type. Hidden curriculum. Directly we do not teach, but we make environment and some practices in the school. Students them to learn. And the emergent curriculum responding to student interest. In this lecture, we are going to briefly discuss informal and non-formal curriculum. Okay, that is the learning objective of today. We use another term explicit curriculum. Another one, the hidden, but it is not hidden, also known as formal curriculum. Refers to the officially designed, deliberately planned, and openly stated educational experiences that the schools provide to students. This is the definition for formal curriculum. Refer officially designed. Yeah. Now the government is, they have completed nearly 80-90% of the curriculum. Official curriculum approved by the government, deliberately planned. Last 4-5 years they have been planned and openly stated. They conduct series of awareness program, training program to the teachers, principals, and SLES officers. That is not a secret document. Educational experiences that the school provide to students. This is the curriculum that appears in the course catalog, syllabi, lesson plan, time allocation. You can see now there is a big argument between trade union and the planner. They are going to increase the school working time, government school, by 30 minutes. Already 7:30 to 1:30. In future, to implement the new curriculum, they need more time. Therefore, they have increased by 30 minutes. Or the present time duration for one period allocated 40, but future it will be 50 minutes. Earlier, the present now we 8 periods in a day, but in future it is going to be 7. 50 minutes, 7 periods. 7 periods, 1 period, 50 minutes allocated for one period. Written test. You can see now advanced level exam is going on. End of the primary cycle, we have grade 5 scholarship examination national level. End of the junior and senior secondary cycle, we have GC O level examination. End of the advanced level, we have GCE advanced level examination. That is a characteristic of formal curriculum. Specialized teachers are employed to teach the subject. English teacher we call, science teacher, maths teacher, history teacher, language teacher, art teacher, IT teachers. Yes. They are specialized in their subject. In 1960s, 70s, we had one category. General teacher, general trained. But now we do not have that category. General, there is no general. We have primary teacher. We have teachers to teach in advanced level. All are specialized. That is one nature of the formal curriculum. Explicit curriculum encompasses all the knowledge. Textbooks are printed, distributed, them to get knowledge. Skills through teaching methods. Through assignment, through group work, through project work, they expect that the skills could be imparted. And competencies, another name, mixture of knowledge, skills, attitude and practical ability, competencies that educational institution intentionally set out to teach their student through formal instruction. The students will be in the class, timetable prepared, class timetable, teacher's timetable. That is one of the main tool in the formal curriculum. Class timetable, teacher timetable, trained teachers, specialized teacher, time allocation. If we take science subject, English subject, math subject, 6 period, 5 periods, English 5 periods, Indian 2 periods in a week. The explicit curricula represent what is schools. We have used district or zone. The states or nation have determined the student should learn at various educational level. Unlike Indian or implicit curricula, the explicit curriculum is transparent. Documented and communicated to all stakeholders in the educational process. Workshops, meeting, online meeting. Nowadays, these processes are going on at the zonal. There was a social media education. Teachers are going for integration. They are in the exam duty, but the zonal director has organized awareness program on new curriculum. There is a conflict between teacher trade unions and zonal directors nowadays because of this awareness program. The government, they wanted to communicate these new reforms, make awareness to all the stakeholders quickly, because we have only 1.5 months more. From January, they are going to implement the new curriculum. It is expected that the students, parents, teachers, and administrators are aware of the curriculum they use. All the stakeholders, they need knowledge of what are the subjects in grade 1, what are the subjects in grade 2, what are the subjects in grade 3, what are the subjects in grade 4, what are the subjects. They say there are 14 subjects in grades. It serves as the foundation for educational planning, resource allocation, and assessment strategies. Yeah. One example I can give. Now we have new information technology. In order to teach information technology, we need computers. We need resources to teach science. We need science laboratory, chemicals, etc. We need for the experiments. Curriculum is a plan organized with the structure, set up instruction, different of instruction. In 1990, when competency based education new report was used. They recommended teaching methods. Method. Grade 1 2, they identified key stage 1. They recommended or teaching the children through organized games. Grade 3 and 4, key stage 2, they recommended more activity based teaching learning. Grade 5 only, they recommended for more, not 100%, more test work. Even in grades 6 onward, they had a plan to give all the schools activity rooms. But the government was not success to give activities rooms to all the schools. Here is this form of curriculum students are offered with structured learning that takes. Another one thing I forgot to say, immediately the government gave grants, money to the schools. They identified as quality input in order to make teaching learning process. They instructed the subject teachers to use teaching aids. Based on the students' number, money allocated, money deposited, the account of school, separate account was opened, quality input account, subject teacher, they can submit a list of resource to the principal, then principal should purchase them and to give to the class, the subject teacher. New steps taken to promote our education to make the formal implementation of formal curriculum as a quality process. You know the focal point. From the take to objective matter, teacher is one criteria and procedure. But one new thing I want to mention, but in the curriculum designer is say objective. Teaching experience evaluation, but here we can see some additional word. It is specific for they have to select subject to use the appropriate method and someone simply can assess and give us criteria. procedure, say, marking schemes. Before 1997, when the teacher were getting ready to implement formal curriculum in the school level, classroom level, they wrote objectives, teaching objectives, and specific objectives. But after 1997, particularly 2005, teachers were asked to write competencies, competency levels. After 2015, 10 years back, teachers were instructed to write learning outcome. Teaching objective no more in use, but in our teacher guidebook, we can see competency level, and learning outcome. The most popular one is learning outcome. Formal curriculum clearly define learning outcome. The government in Sri Lanka, Ministry of Education, they issue with teachers guidebook. In the guidebook, they have given learning outcomes. Teachers also, they have freedom to write their own learning outcome. The subject content, that also given by the Ministry of Education through textbooks, syllabus given to the teachers, textbooks given to the teachers, teachers guide given to the teachers. Using those things, they can decide their learning outcome. They can get some area to teach in 50 or 40 or 50 minutes. The teaching method they can decide. Teaching resource also they can decide. It also helps in maintaining the standard of education existing in the country. Why the Ministry of Education provide those things? To maintain the standard of education. The formal curriculum standard is very important. In Sri Lanka, under present curriculum, they focuses on competencies. The curriculum is designed to develop students with basic competency, including social justice, mental and physical well-being, creativity, critical thinking, and the ability to adapt to change. Not only the content knowledge. Addition to that, as we sum up the ideas, even we discussed in the curriculum model, in the current society, we need some more benefit from the education. Holistic development we call. Total development of a student we call. Number 2, subject matter. The matter involved in the syllabus for the academic year is often decided by the decision maker who design the curriculum. Syllabus. Syllabus is prepared by the National Institute of Education as well as by the Ministry of Education. Sri Lanka's government school syllabus is designed by the Ministry of Education and the National Institute of Education based on the national policies to ensure students achieve proficiency in national language, one of the core subject, English, second language, numeracy, mathematics, and digital literacy. Hereafter, we are going to give more important to digital literacy. Even in the new curriculum, more attention is given to digital literacy. Teaching methodologies, third part, theoretical basis of methods and approaches that can be taken in concern while teaching as is a major part of curriculum to ensure accessibility. Some recommendations are given by the NIE even through their Bachelor of Education program, postgraduate diploma in education program, Master of Education program. They introduce lot of new teaching methods. 5-way method they introduced 10-15 years ago. 5E model. Now authentic teaching model, integrated IT integrated teaching method, flip classroom. Classroom led by students. Activity based, experience based, experiment based. Teachers can decide what is the best and effective teaching method to teach a particular subject. It can consider age, interest, and instructional strategy of students. The primary, their age from 5 to 10. Lecture method, not effective method at that age level. Sometimes we can use, because the content is very vast, for A-level students, we may use lecture method to A-level students, but for the primary, that is useless. Teaching methodology refers to the overall strategy and philosophy behind how educators teach, encompassing the principles, techniques, and practices used to facilitate student learning. Yeah. Do you have another subject on teaching methodology in your this course? Continually, I have been talking. Today, I am a bad teacher. I didn't even give you any opportunity to discuss, ask question or other work. Do you have a subject teaching methods? No answer.
No, sir.
Do you have a separate subject for that? Teaching methods? No. Okay. That is a big, vast subject. I can't teach, but I can say there are different type of modern teaching methodology, authentic, pre-classroom, experimental teaching, experience-based teaching, integrated IT integrated teaching methodologies. Then the modern for formal implementation of formal curriculum, uh, that is those different teaching method important. We can in, generally we can say student centered, teacher centered. Most of the traditional teaching method teacher centered, but modern teaching methodologies are learner centered, student centered. Right. Finally, number 4, assessment criteria and procedure. Now it is very popular, performance based assessment. Rubrics. Teachers should prepare rubrics for each and every subject and do assessment. Assessment criteria and procedure. Assessment strategies that are embedded into classroom practice. The student, they have right to know how I am assessed, how marks provided. It cannot be giving marks, cannot be, it needs transparency. The assessment process needs transparency. Assessment is an integral part of curriculum that involves collecting information to evaluate student learning and inform teaching. The assessment should be required information to the learner as well as the teachers. We say testing for teaching, testing for learning, testing for teaching. Through the evaluation, assessment, student assessment, teachers can judge how my teaching is good, effective. Student can judge how far my learning process is success or effective. That's why Curve also wanted to introduce continuous assessment. They say assessment is a part of teaching learning process. we can have at the beginning, we can have at the middle, we can have at the end. Not like the traditional curriculum designer, they put this assessment and evaluation at the end. But Kerr and some other, they give freedom to the teacher. Teacher can decide where the student should be assessed. Students are assessed. Right. Finally, it serves to improve student achievement by helping teachers adapt instruction to meet student needs, providing feedback for improvement, and informing future curriculum development. As I as Kerr emphasized, student also should be assessed to check their individual performance. As a country, the entire curriculum should be assessed for reform. If weakness and strength of a curriculum is identified through curriculum evaluation, if we can identify what are the areas to be improved in the curriculum components in the new reform, that information will be more useful. It is strategically designed to consider student regardless of their strength and weakness. Now, one idea I can see, I think all of you are working in the school. You are teachers. Am I correct? Jayakala, you all are working?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm working,
And
sir.
the experience that you get from the school is very, very important. You to understand this subject because you are in the field. You are you are with curriculum. You are with curriculum process. You are the implementer of curriculum. Without curriculum knowledge, you can't be a teacher in the school. Therefore, I think it is not difficult for me to explain that. It is not much difficult you to understand the meaning of curriculum, the formal curriculum. Most of your time in the school is spent on the implementation of formal curriculum. Therefore, only I am helping you to organize the fact. But already you know, I am sure already you know the facts because of your experience as teachers. You are the main stakeholders in the schools in the process rather than your principal. The principal, he has lot of EOC, has lot of other work, administrative work, work with finance management, work with this community school relationship, uh, work with senior management, but most of your time is spent on the implementation of formal curriculum. Therefore, I am sure that you can easily understand this area. And it will make you as a professionally uh, developed teachers. Right. That's all. Formal curriculum. You have timetable, you have syllabus, you have textbooks, you have classroom, you have timetable, you have teaching aids. If you teach geography as a subject, you may have globe in your school, you may have map, world map, Sri Lanka map. Those are used to implement curriculum. Right. Now we can come to the next second type of curriculum, informal curriculum. An informal curriculum refers to the unwritten. That is totally against to certain extent it is against the that the character, the nature, it is unwritten. All the informal curriculum, all the part component of informal curriculum not written, unofficial. Some of the informal curricular activities not official, some partly official, not 100% official. I can give later. You can understand why we say unofficial. Some of the informal activities, the school, your culture, your school culture, your tradition, from your some of the activities that use as informal curriculum, you may taken from the surrounding of the school. That's why everything not from the top. And often unintended lesson that the students learn in school. It can include social norms, not from the books, from the society, values, beliefs, and behavior. Because the students are coming from the society, teachers also coming from the society. We bring lot of new thing to the schools, explicit, implicit. It is flexible. This year, we can avoid annual sports meets. Not big celebration. We can have some selected items in the school. We have freedom to avoid some of the activities related to informal curriculum and spontaneous form of learning that is not part of the formal timetable or set syllabus. Sometimes after school, we can involve in informal for the implementation of informal curriculum. Saturday, Sunday, you may come to the school. You can take the children out of the schools. It can be gained through daily life experience. Peer groups, media, even conversation. In the informal curriculum, there are divisions. Later we can see that. Co-curricular, they see the co-curricular, hidden curriculum, branches of informal curriculum. This type of learning is a natural part of the educational environment. And can occur anytime, anywhere. School culture, school climate, school tradition, the leader, school leader, teachers' behavior can modify the student behavior and student personality, student leadership qualities. Yeah. Some of the characteristic of informal curriculum, no structure, no specific goals, lifelong process. Sometimes you can start to play netball, football in the school. whenever you join a company, when they organize stop sports, then you can even play. You can use your experience there. Yeah. No fees. That means uh, no special payment to the teachers. Key characteristic of an informal curriculum is spontaneous. It is not pre-planned or deliberate. No time is allocated to implement formal informal curriculum as we do for formal curriculum. Flexible, it has no fixed syllabus or timetable. Contextual, it is learned through interaction. I can see one example. If you go to Jaffna, Manipa, that area, football is very famous games. If you go to plantation area, they have no big playground because of the physical environment. Hilly area, they have only small grounds. Therefore, they play most of the area, they play volleyball because it needs small space. We come to Colombo, they have huge playgrounds. They play cricket. They can decide their informal curriculum according to the culture, environment, facilities. There are a lot of factors. It can decide the informal curriculum. Unofficial, I mentioned. You know that some schools have a specific informal curriculum to help students with complex learning. Now we can see in Colombo, swimming pool. Most of the school they have swimming pool, but in rural area and plantation area, we can't expect those things. Informal curriculum is divided as two components: co-curriculum, hidden curriculum.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
You will be sharing this PowerPoint presentation, right? Because it's a new.
yeah, really. At the end of the session, I'll
Okay, thank you.
definitely share.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Informal co-curriculum refers to the learning experience and the skills that are gained through school's culture and activities, rather than through the formal plan academic subject. Here, in another thing, I can give one example. We teach health science, physical education in the school. We give only knowledge through books in the classroom, but we take them to the playground. Even some of the subject we can see button change. Some techniques included in the textbooks. Some techniques pertaining to some games. Relay, button change, start, endurance, agility, some concept, those are in the books. But if we take those children to the ground, playground, and organize some game activities, the children, they get real experience. Then they never forget those things. Baton change, without taking the children to the ground, we can't give the exact skills or knowledge about baton change techniques. Therefore, the co-curriculum is a supportive process what we teach in the textbooks. If we can't give 100%, some of the religion we can take to the temples for the practical. Health science, physical education, we can take the children to the ground and get the practical component, that is skills we can give through co-curricular activities. Aesthetic studies we teach, literature we teach, but by organizing cultural activities, programs, we can give them practical knowledge, practical experience, real experience. Because the co-curricular activities supports or complement the formal curriculum. These activities often complement the academic curriculum but are typically ungraded and may not lead to academic credit, occurring outside of a regular class time and sometimes involving external groups. We have some limitation. Now the parents wanted their children to take 9A, 3A evening. That is a barrier in our country because of the competitive examination. The parents, they think most of the students' time should be spent to get ready for the exam. Okay, that is a social issue. It is difficult to define co-curricular activities because all teachers have some defined responsibility for their organization. Many full-time professional teachers are employed. School rooms, time, equipment, and materials are provided. Their relationship with regular curricular activities are regarded as vital. Credit for participation is allowed, to recognition is also given, but anyhow we can't say the completely co-curricular activities in this country neglected. There are schools, even international school I have noticed, I have witnessed some school, they even some, we have some sports school in this country. A large number of students, their parents, they have realized the importance of co-curricular activities because if this cricket team players, national level players, they get opportunity to go or everywhere in the world. They earn money, they are popular, they live luxury life. Yes, those lot of benefit they have by involving co-curricular activity professionally. Yeah. Now we can see types of co-curricular activities. Co-curricular activities are categorized under following headings: library activities, physical development activities, mental development activities also could be added, aesthetic and cultural development activities, civic development activities, social welfare activities, Co-curricular activities have a number of values like educational value, development, social spirit, social skills, team spirit, leadership, training, education for leadership, the use of leisure time or recreational value, team spirit, development of civic virtue, physical and mental development, improved discipline, aesthetic development and development of cultural values. Some are coming repeat some ideas are repeated, right? That's all on co-curricular activities. We have nearly 4 minutes. We'll see how many slides are there to only few. uh, no, we can see only the hidden curriculum. What is CDK, hidden curriculum? I know I involved in paper marking, but I can say it is not relevant to you. Most of the people in the field, teachers, they are not much well aware of this hidden curriculum. Even the word is not familiar to them. Co-curricular activities and former curriculum they are familiar, they can explain, they can understand. We can say that they have knowledge. That problem is with the hidden curriculum. Hidden curriculum, we can see some of the practices, that is unplanned practices. The hidden curriculum is all the things that the student pick up throughout their academic career that is not explicitly taught as part of the formal curriculum. Yes. If you maintain, some of the examples I can give, if you maintain attractive and beautiful, clean, dust-free environment for your children, they will learn something from that. Yeah, even yesterday, day 5 maybe day 5 yesterday, I participated, I was a participant in a function, highly professionally qualified people in a big hotel, lot of money spent on that. The morning they started with national anthem, very good. Many good things I noticed in there. But one thing I have to say, it is not the organizers' weakness, but the people, when the national anthem was going, they do not know how to stand. But in the school, we must teach the student, we must train the student when the national anthem is going on, how to stand. That is only one example. Huh? Okay. When you see your teacher, whether the teacher is teaching you or not, if the teacher is from that school, the student should say the greetings, good morning, teacher. Good morning, sir. If they neglect, even staff members, whenever they see peer teacher, teacher should say good morning. You can say name or other method. But it is a practice. School in briefly, if I can say, later we can study now time 9:30. Through school practice, through school culture, through teachers' behavior, children learn. No sports meet organized, no cultural event organized. That is the second one, earlier one that we studied. But here, directly we do not teach, but children learn. Co-curricular activities, sometimes planned, sometimes not planned, but the hidden curriculum, more than 95% not planned. It is a practice. It is a part of their school culture. It is part of their behavior. The students, they learn from their teachers, school administrators' behavior. Okay, next week we can study hidden curriculum, the concept of total curriculum. Right, good night. Continually I am talking. Very rarely I give you chance. The problem is the limited time that we are given to complete the course. Okay, that's why I have to take more time in this class. Right, good night.
Good night.
I'll share, yeah. I forgot to share this. Now I'll wait, give me few minutes because I have to close the file and share. Okay, you got it. Jayakala, check whether you got it.
Yes, sir.
Types
Thank
of
you.
curriculum. Good night.
Yes. Good night, sir. Thank you so much.